This is just about everything you need to know between BEIDOU and YUNJIN's counter. The only two counters in Genshin Impact. Both have their flaws and their perks. BEIDOU's counter gives you a lot of leeway. You're allowed to sit there with the counter for as long as you want, with full control, until it eventually fires off by itself, unlike YUNJIN's counter where it's a little bit different, because when you do the max absorption for YUNJIN's counter, it'll just immediately fire off, unlike BEIDOU where you can have it sit here and absorb multiple hits. Speaking of charging up a full counter, YUNJIN is the only one, or between the two, YUNJIN's the only one that can just fire up a counter on the spot, which is very, very convenient. However, one flaw, if you were to charge up this counter and then take too much damage to something, it's going to fire off immediately in wherever you are within the counter, but won't absorb max damage, unlike BEIDOU's would. BEIDOU alone does have a higher scaling for her counter, while YUNJIN's is a little bit less, but that's to be expected as YUNJIN has a lot more support in her kit. One of the minor things that I actually do find very convenient is if you're ever interrupted from doing a counter, YUNJIN's skill just won't be consumed, unlike BEIDOU's, which will just reset the time and deal nothing. However, what makes these kind of tie for one another is both can take fire damage easily, which is to be expected. It's a shame that YUNJIN's counter doesn't have a higher scaling, because I think counters are very satisfying, but I mean, her counter is very much like a graceful thing, meanwhile BEIDOU's is very aggressive given the sound effect and the look when you have a full counter. So that just about does it for the comparison between the two counters. Do with this information what you will, and make sure to subscribe for more Genshin tips and guides.